Welcome to another episode of Hey, I'm Just a Fan podcast or show. I don't even know yet. We'll figure it out. Anyways, let's get straight to it. Kendrick Lamar, Juneteenth at the Forum in Inglewood, performing for the first time since the battle. Y'all going? First things first, that wait line on a ticket site was absolutely disrespectful. I was number 87,000 in line on the queue. Out the gate. I knew I wasn't going to get tickets, man. So I immediately went to one of them secondary sites to see if they were doing resales already. And what do you know? They were. Found me some lower level seats for about $320 a piece. 2 tickets. And I'm sure that was high at the time. And that was a day of resale. As of right now, today, let me tell you something. The tickets that I have and the row that I have, they're going for over $900 a ticket right now. I am somebody that is from LA, so I want to go to this concert really, really bad, all right? But my pockets say, hey, brother, if these tickets hit $1,500 a piece, you might need to sell those and watch the whole thing on Amazon or Twitch, bro, because that's a lot of money. That's $3,000 total after all the fees and stuff. Here's my issue, though. The resales with the tickets, it's a problem. It's about as bad as the resale to shoe game. People got thousands of bots buying for them. You got companies buying tickets in the thousands. These secondary sites automatically get tickets or they buy tickets themselves and they get first dibs on those tickets. So who suffers? The real fan. That's right. In a lot of cases, the real fan doesn't have $1,000 or $1,500 or even $500 to spend on some seats. And sometimes these are nosebleed seats for about $500 to $600, man. That's ridiculous. I am a real Kendrick Lamar fan since the C4 mixtape days. But spending $1,000 per ticket, that shit ain't in my budget, dog. And the issue is, I don't think Kendrick and the people and the other artists are getting money for these resales. They get their upfront money, what they're supposed to get for the show, and whatever they're going to make off the merch and extra stuff like that. But when people are reselling these tickets for $1,500 to $2,000 for some middle-ass seats, I don't think they're getting a piece of that. So they ain't necessarily probably happy with it either. And now you got a bunch of fans that are going to the show. They ain't really die-hard fans. They're just fans that can afford the ticket. Now, luckily, I got mine. And I honestly plan to be up in there because him performing Not Like Us for the first time, and he's going to be doing it in LA with the majority LA crowd, I don't think we're going to see the type of energy we've ever seen at a concert in a very long time. This is the hottest Kendrick has ever been, straight coming off that battle. And low-key might cause a little earthquake in LA. No matter though, we used to that. So I want to know from y'all, man, were y'all able to get tickets if you in LA, if you wasn't? And how do you feel about a lot of people that are not even from here trying to get tickets and the ticket game kind of messing up right now for concerts? I saw a video of this dude that's from LA trying to get tickets, and he said one of his people that are from Chicago was trying to get tickets. They're not even going to come to the show. They were just trying to get tickets to resale. And that's the shit I'm talking about right there. You're ruining the experience for us. There should have been a big LA ticket giveaway, man. A bunch of tickets is sold to people in LA. You had to come down to the box office, stand in line, whatever the case may be. And we get a shot at those tickets for the first 3 days before anybody else gets a shot at those tickets. We buy them tickets up. After that, then y'all can go, man. Y'all can go get them tickets and sell them to anybody else. But LA should get first dibs, specifically for this concert. And here's why I'm saying that. Kendrick himself said it in Euphoria. Most of y'all don't like the West Coast. I'm fine with it. I put the line with it. Y'all don't like us, man. A bunch of people from out of the state, they come to LA, they come to Cali and be like, oh man, this is the fakest city I ever been to. LA people, the fakest people I ever been around. No, you're the fake one. Your city's trash, all right? Y'all bring your asses to LA over here trying to pursue a dream, acting like weirdos, trying to fit in and be Hollywood or whatever you call it, or however you see LA people act on TV, and y'all the ones out here acting fake, bro. Y'all be running into a bunch of yous out here and being like, man, it's fake people. Nah, bro, you from middle America somewhere. You from the South or the East somewhere. That ain't us. So all you people that's not from here, I ain't gonna lie to y'all, man. Get your goofy asses up out of here. All right, we honestly don't really want y'all here. Like, we don't really care about y'all being here like that. Y'all making the traffic go crazy, everything. Well, wait a second. My wife is not from here, so not all y'all. But you know what I mean, man. The fake ones. So I don't know if you guys heard about this comedian out there. He just got attacked on stage. He said something like, he told this guy the kid's infant son can go suck on a BBC. Now, if you don't know what a BBC is, it's a whole category on X videos and all these other triple X sites, all right? And just put 2 and 2 together what you think BBC means. It just means a big muscle on the lower part of a black man. Now, this dude got attacked on stage. Here's the thing that I have an issue with. I've been doing stand-up comedy for about 15 years now. And one thing I got to say is security be ass. I done seen multiple videos of people getting attacked on stage and security getting there after the scuffle's over, after the comedian done got beat up or had to handle themselves. Start firing these security guards at comedy clubs. First things first, if the energy is starting to shift in the room because somebody in the crowd is feeling a little uneasy or uncomfortable or getting loud, security should already be easing close to the stage, out the gate, getting near that person, ready to protect the comedian on stage. The last thing we're trying to think about is protecting ourselves physically while we're already going through something mentally from a stand-up perspective, remembering jokes, going through our set, getting interrupted by things, going back to our set, all types of different things. So y'all should be handling that part. Now, as a comedian, when you are doing some crowd work and talking to people off stage like that, you usually don't go that aggressive. So I don't know necessarily what fully happened to make him say that, but at the end of the day, even if he's interrupting, if you're going to go that far, and I'll speak for myself anyways, if I'm going to say something like that, I already have it in my head that I want to fight now. I'm in go mode. If I'm saying something that disrespectful to you, right? Because the way I grew up, if you invite somebody to your private parts or you invite somebody to somebody else's private parts, that means you want to throw hands. Because there's a very high chance that that person that you said that to wants to now fight you. Now, if you invite this man's infant son to your private parts or somebody's private parts, bro, what did you expect? As soon as he said it, he should have threw the mic down, ready to throw hands. So on that tip, I understand the guy in the crowd, like, bro, as a comedian, you're supposed to be a professional. You got to be able to handle yourself in situations like that. And at some point, you be like, yo, security, man, get this guy up out of here, man. He's doing too much. He's interrupting my show. And call for security to get him out of the show. A lot of times, the crowd's going to be on your side. If they feel like he's interrupting the show too much or she's interrupting the show too much because they're drunk, this happens all the time. Have security escort them out. Usually, you'll get an applause break. Now you can make some more jokes about those people when they're gone behind their back. Have fun with the crowd. It's all great after that. So there's a combination of things that probably should have went on that didn't happen, where the comedy club, they messed up, the security, they messed up, and the comedian, they messed up. And I'm normally on the comedian side, but like I said, when you say something as disrespectful as that, you got to be ready to throw and play, boy. So hopefully he learned a lesson from this going forward, and he understands how to deal with it better the next time around. Yeah, that's all I got for you, bro. Just understand what you say can get you into some altercations, and you got to be ready for that. Have you heard of this I'd rather be in the woods with the bear versus the man debate? It's something that I've seen on TikTok, and it started to go viral a while ago. And pretty much women are answering the question of, would you rather be in the woods alone with a bear, or would you rather be in the woods alone with a man? And sadly to say, a lot of women are saying they'd rather be in the woods alone with a bear. And a lot of guys were getting upset about it. A lot of guys were commenting saying, oh, for real, you rather be in the woods with a bear instead of a man? Well, fine then, choose the bear. And women are like, we choose the bear. They're putting bear emojis all up in the comment section. But let's actually kind of peel back a little bit of layers, all right? This is pretty much saying that women do not trust men. And they're saying that men are dangerous. They fear the presence of being alone or even being in public with a man. Now, there are certain dudes out there that make these things a true statement. They make these things very dangerous. They're very aggressive with women. They grab them. They try to choke them. They're violent with them. It's ridiculous. And they'll do this in public. So when I was online seeing a lot of the answers and a lot of the videos, I was kind of feeling bad. I was like, damn, man, are we really that bad as men? Are we really just terrible to where women don't even want to be alone with us? Now, I can speak for myself. That's not necessarily the energy that I put off, but I have seen women even come up to me and be like, hey, could you walk into my car, man? I don't feel safe with this dude over here. Or they just don't feel safe walking by themselves, and I'll walk them to their car. So let's put this back a little bit deeper. The woods in general is scary. Let's start right there, okay? If a woman is alone in the woods, she should be scared regardless. Bear, man, or nobody there at all. The woods is just scary. Shoot, as a man, I've been in the woods by myself during the daytime, and I ain't gonna lie to you. The bitch in me came out. I ain't had no weapons. I didn't had nothing but these hands. I didn't know the sounds or anything like that. I was in the South visiting family, and I think something like a ball rolled into the woods, and I went to go look for it. And I was just like, immediately when I stepped in there, it was like I was in a whole nother realm. And it was funny when I turned around and looked where I came from. It's like it disappeared. Like I didn't even know where I came from. I was like, yo, how do I get back to the entrance? No real entrance, but like to where I need to go to get up out of here. So that's that right there. So if I'm in the woods myself as a man, alone in the woods, and I see a woman, I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm gonna be afraid myself. Why the hell is she in the woods by herself? I'm going to be afraid because the first thing going through in my head is she's in the woods by herself. She might know what the hell she's doing. Is this a setup? Is she trying to get me killed? First thing I'm going to do is probably be like, yo, keep your distance. Stay right there. What are you doing here? I'm probably going to act like I have something on me just to make sure she knows that, hey, you ain't going to just run up on me so quickly like that. Because this literally might be your whole neck of the woods. You know this whole thing. You may be trying to murder me. I don't know. But especially if we're in the woods at night, oh, hell nah. Don't come near me, all right? I don't care who it is. If it's a child, get your young ass away from me, man. I'm about here. Children are usually the most frightening thing in a scary movie, so I don't want no problems with a child. But if we're being honest, for the women that are choosing the bear, some of the answers that I saw was, oh, if I get attacked by the bear, at least when I go tell somebody, they'll believe me that I got attacked by a bear. Oh, they gonna believe you, right? You gonna be dead. You think you really about to survive a bear attack? Have you seen a bear claw before? If you haven't, Google bear claw. As soon as you get smacked in the face, in the torso and the lower extremities with a bear claw, you're finished. Conversation over. You're going to meet your maker. You're not talking to your family, the news, nothing. I know The Revenant was a movie, but damn it, they did a pretty damn good job at reenacting a bear attack. And this was somebody that knew what he was doing in the woods. You don't know what the hell you're doing in the woods. And they got absolutely destroyed. In all honesty, in real life, probably wouldn't have survived. But you're going to tell somebody about the bear attack. Dog, I don't even know if y'all even think in reality sometimes. If we're being honest, y'all are in the presence of men more than you probably even know that you are. And in that, if you're actually in public a lot, you are probably walking by and in the presence of so many men that it's uncountable. You don't even know how many men you ran across. And the majority of them did nothing to you. They said nothing to you. They didn't look your way. They didn't bother you. And despite what your ego might think, you probably didn't even catch their attention. If you're in public consistently, you're probably going through multiple male energy, like hundreds to thousands of men a day, whether it's in the car, walking, if you're going to get something to eat, on the street, in a library, wherever you're going that day, you're dealing with so many men that are not even trying to do anything to you. Now, I can understand from some of y'all standpoint, if a man comes up to you and he's trying to press you and trying to get your number, and he's like, come on, and he's all up on you like that, and you're like, yo, back up off me. All that energy right there is going to feel like a lot. And it's probably going to take a lot of energy from you being like, see, this is why I don't like dudes. It's why I don't like going outside. But if you step back and look at the grand scheme of things, it was 1 to 3 men. Even if it was 10 men throughout that whole day, you most likely walked by a minimum of 100 men to over 1,000 men that whole day. And the majority of them, I would say over 95 to 98% of them didn't really bother you. Now let's flip that. If you were in that same space around with that many bears, 100 bears a day to possibly 1,000 bears a day, you think you about to just walk through life easy without getting attacked by a bear? Shit. You up out of here. You gonna get attacked legit, like physically attacked to put you in the hospital every single day. Probably damn near every single time you walk near a bear. I know we like to see some of these bear videos and people are like, rah, rah, and the bear ran away. Those are very, very few cases. If a cub is anywhere in the space, anywhere around, and mama bear's around, they don't care what you going through. You having a good day or a bad day, you getting mauled. So let's stop the cap. On average, a man is not going to do anything to you physically, all right? He's not going to. In most cases, a man ain't going to even want to talk to you. A lot of dudes have anxiety, and they're afraid to talk to women. The average guy is afraid to talk to a woman. He doesn't want to get rejected. He doesn't want to get embarrassed. That's the realness. So in all honesty, you would actually be safer with a man in the woods because you're probably going to be afraid of each other, to be honest, on average. So ladies, understand this. I'm not saying that you're not valid in your thinking, all right? I understand that there are bad men out there. I 100% get it. But if we're talking about the actual grand scheme and the statistics of things, the average guy is not going to bother you. So I was wondering, was there also a man version of this type of question out there? And of course, there was. And that question was, as a man, would you rather tell your feelings to a woman or a brick wall? Oh boy. The fellas reeled in for this one. Same thing. Majority of the men said they would rather tell their feelings to a brick wall because at least the brick wall won't interrupt them. Hey, Hey, as a man that has tried to put his feelings out there to women that I've been involved with, let me tell you something. They gonna interrupt. And they gonna most likely make it about them. And a lot of women try to chime in and say, nah, y'all the problem. Y'all hurt. Y'all don't want to say y'all feelings. Here's the thing. Just like y'all don't want y'all feelings invalid when y'all say the whole bear versus the man debate, we have to take into account that in some cases this is true, right? You also have to look at our version of it and be like, yes, a lot of y'all are selfish. A lot of women think about themselves when a man is trying to express himself in his feelings and be emotional. When we say we don't want to tell our feelings to women because of these particular things that might happen to us, we're not pulling that out of our ass. We're going off experience, just like how y'all going off experience. And through a lot of men's experience, y'all turn around and make our feelings about you. And it's sad that right now we're even having these type of debates, and I feel like we're at this kind of weird kind of gender war. But I'm not going to sit there and act like there's not truths in both of these scenarios, because there is. But that just shows me that we both have work to do. Both men and women are pieces of shit right now, if you want to be honest. You can't sit there and tell a man that he needs to express himself and then call a man all type of names when he does. Sensitive, sassy, weak, he's gay, all types of stuff because he wants to express himself. And because you don't like the way that he's expressing himself. When y'all express yourselves, y'all don't care about none of that. Y'all want to be able to express yourself the way you want to without no judgment. The same with us. So both sides has got to do better if you want to be honest. And let's be real. A lot of us need therapy. A lot of us came from some terrible backgrounds and we need some type of extra help. And the issue is a lot of people are saying that they're in therapy. But here's what I've been noticing. A lot of people are attending therapy, but they're not working on themselves. Are you just attending therapy, or are you actually going there to do the work and improve on yourself? Because a lot of people aren't. A lot of people are going to therapy, and if we're being real, they're in their sessions talking about some bullshit. They're in their sessions talking about a bunch of stuff that's honestly not that important in the grand scheme of life. Most of your trauma, most of your triggers, most of your anxiety comes from your past. Some people like to say, oh, it ain't always about the past. Yes, it is. In 99.9% of the cases, it's most likely about your past, dog. You can most likely pinpoint something to where in your past, something happened to you, whether it was your parents, whether it was a friend, a family member, someone at school, something, a teacher said something or did something to you that messed you up so bad, or even they just did it one time and it messed you up, and you went for it and been like, you know what, I ain't gonna let that ever happen again. So now I got this wall up. Now you're over here paying $100 to $175 or more for therapy, and you're not even talking about the real stuff you need to be talking about. I personally been in therapy for multiple years, and the first thing I did was I started to unpack all the stuff that happened to me in my past, because I knew personally that was the root of the majority of my problems. And when I started to address those things, I immediately saw results in how I dealt with people when it came to friendships, how I started to deal with women going forward. A lot of my insecurities went away. A lot of my anxiety started to go away. Now, am I fully worked on and perfect? Absolutely not. I still got a lot of stuff I got to do. And some of those things honestly resurface from time to time. But a lot of y'all asses need help. Y'all out here getting in relationships and you're destroyed from the previous relationships. And then you're going into one being like, nah, I ain't going to do none of these things now. I ain't going to let none of this stuff happen again. And some of the stuff isn't even this person's fault. You as soon as they say something, you already snapping on them because of what your ex did. You got to give this new person a new slate. So go get in order, man. Because some of y'all in therapy are talking about a bunch of stuff that's not important. Your past has made you a piece of shit, but you're not working on or talking about that at all in your therapy sessions. You're talking about stuff like, I don't know, man, I couldn't find my pen today. And I don't know why I couldn't find my pen, so that drove me crazy. And now I'm upset that I couldn't find a pen, so now I can't get any work done. That's not important in the grand scheme of life, bro. You are a terrible person in society. You need to fix that. And that's the thing. It's up to you to fix that. It ain't up to your partner. It ain't even up to your therapist. It's up to you to go get the help and you to do the work. All right, man, this weekend I saw Bad Boys 4, a.k.a. Bad Boys Ride or Die. And, man, this franchise is 4 for 4, dog. Martin was in prime comedy shape in this movie. He was on point. Laughter from beginning to end. Great as always. I love the character development in this movie. Will and Martin both had things that they had to do to get over. It wasn't just action-packed. Now, the action. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. When Michael Bay left the series, I was like, man, this might be a wrap, dog. I don't know if the series is going to be able to handle it without him, because he has some of the best action scenes that I've ever seen in movies in the Bad Boy series. But these two directors, man, forgive me, I'm forgetting their name right now. I'll probably put it, somewhere on there. These two directors that directed the last two movies, I think they're like a duo. Yo, they have put together some of the dopest action in these movies, and they made it make sense for the characters. Story was great, the characters showed up, and Reggie. You remember Reggie from the second one with the braids, and he walked in, he had one of the best scenes in there. Oh, big ludicrous looking motherfucker. You know that dude had one of the best scenes in this one too. This is kind of like a slight spoiler, I guess. So I'll give you a few seconds to get up out of here or skip past it if you want to. Go ahead. 1, 2. All right, we back. Here's the thing. Reggie got down. All right. He was an absolute monster. He actually might have one of the best action scenes in this entire movie. I 100% recommend Bad Boys Ride or Die to go see. Go see it immediately. And shout out to Will Smith, man. This is going to look like a box office hit right now because movies in 2024 have been flopping their ass off. And in all honesty, it's looking like Bad Boys is going to bring it back. It's looking like over 50 mil for the weekend. And they're not getting an extra Monday or nothing like that for the weekend to get more money out of it. This might actually be the best or biggest opening weekend this year, and that'll be dope for Will to redeem himself after, the big time slap. So shout out to Will, shout out to Martin, shout out to everybody in this cast, shout out to the directors, the producers, everybody, man. Y'all did y'all thing with this one. But I have to ask, out of all the Bad Boys films, how do y'all rank them, 1 through 4? Which one is your best one? Which one is the worst one? What do y'all have? For me, I'm gonna start from 4 to 1, all right? I rank Bad Boys 3 in the number 4 spot. And that's not to say that is bad. All the movies in this franchise is really good. It's probably one of the best franchises in the history of movies. Especially if we're talking about a franchise that has 4 movies or more. So Bad Boys 3 is number 4. This might be controversial. Bad Boys 1, I got to rank number 3. Now that's not dissing it at all. Matter of fact, I'm giving it props because that was the first time Martin and Will worked together and their chemistry was off the chain. Story was believable, classic 90s action type of film. Michael Bay set it up. That's how he made Will Smith into a action star. The rewatchability is at an all-time high. I can rewatch it all the time. I would say 3 I rewatched probably the least. Well, I guess technically 4 is because it just came out, but you know what I'm talking about. At number 2, I got Bad Boys 4, Ride or Die. Now, understand when I say this. Bad Boys 1 and Bad Boys 4 are literally like neck and neck. They're literally a hair from each other. It's like really like 2A and 2B if you want to be honest. Do you ever like multiple things like so much that sometimes you might rank it different rankings depending on how you feel or that day of the week? That's how I feel about these two. I could be feeling Bad Boys 1 next week more and put that as number 2. That's how close these are is what I'm saying. But Bad Boys 2 has to be ranked at number 1 for me in the Bad Boys franchise. Them popping up on the KKK, Martin getting shot in the ass, him having to take ecstasy. That freeway car chase scene is probably one of my favorite all-time action scenes in any movie ever. Then you add the scene right after that when they got to have the shootout with the Haitians and the camera's flipping room to room. That mess was just shot beautiful. That's why I said when Michael Bay was going, I was scared because I was like, yo, man, he did that so incredible. I didn't think it could be topped by another director. Dude was like, you killed my brother, motherfucker. So how do y'all rate the Bad Boys films 4 through 1? All right. Let me know in that comment section. Now I have to talk about this, man. Stephen A. Smith, a.k.a. Crash Out A. Smith. Bro, have we seen a downfall like Stephen A. Smith's in recent time when it comes to like sports journalism? Stephen A. Smith for a long time was probably the voice for a lot of black people. A lot of black athletes, a lot of athletes just in general, because he kept it real, right? He had the New York swag, he was believable, but then as it kept going on, he started to turn more into a cartoon character, screaming and yelling and just throwing out big words, and it didn't really matter about the words, he was just saying them. And especially now, it's like he's trying to just go for the viral moment. Like people used to believe his takes, and used to use his takes as the truth. Now a lot of his takes are damn near laughable, especially this most recent incident with Monica McNutt. So she calls him out saying, hey, you wasn't really talking about the WNBA like that. And Stephen A. over here gasping, grabbing his chest. Monica! Me? I'm one of the only people that was talking about the WNBA. Let's be honest, bro. The WNBA wasn't hot like that. Most people weren't talking about it, all right, dog? The product wasn't hot. And if you want to be honest, that's fair. You don't talk about stuff that ain't hot like that. Then he tried to say, well, I was one of the few that was actually talking about it at all. And I'm like, bro, you're missing her whole point. You still weren't talking about it enough. And instead of taking accountability, Stephen A. had the audacity, the gall to say, hey, well, if it wasn't for me, you wouldn't even be on things like First Take. I put you on First Take. I put plenty of women on First Take. What are you talking about, bro? What does that have to do with the WNBA right now? See, you're the type of person that does a favor for somebody and then lets them know, you see that favor I did for you? You see, I just did a favor for this person over here. Look at that. Look at, you see her? I did that favor. I'm the reason why she's on TV right now. Me. It's like you a goofball for doing that, dog, and you showed your true colors, and people saw that. And then to make matters worse, your goofy ass, instead of taking accountability again, you and your ego went on to your show and addressed it again, being like, yo, I do more for anybody. I do this and I do that. You are showing to the whole world that you are an egomaniac at this point. You rarely ever take accountability, especially when it comes to TV. I don't know about your personal life behind the scenes, but on TV, you have this ego thing where you and other players, you go at it and you never be like, yo, I'm wrong. My bad. Me and Kyrie, this and this and that. You was wrong from the beginning with Kyrie, bro. And instead of taking out accountability, you wanted to be like a tough guy. What's up? What up with it? You and Kevin Durant, same thing. Bro, we have to be honest here. A lot of sports journalists in general, y'all don't be having real sources. Y'all don't. Y'all sources be wrong 70% of the time or more. I got a trade and my sources say your sources is wrong. The draft says wrong again. Y'all be wrong more times than not if you want to be honest. It's honestly starting to get to a point where us, the fans, we have a better opinion and stronger views and better views than y'all on a lot of different things. And that's when you're starting to see a lot of these podcasts with other sports people, with just random people that are doing sports or just talking about stuff in general. They're getting a lot more views and a lot more listens because people will rather listen to them be honest instead of the people that are on TV that have to debate essentially for views. Some of these sports people don't even believe half the stuff they say. They just say it because, hey, I gotta oppose you because we gotta make it look like we're not on the same side. And I get that. I 100% get that. But if I'm being honest, Stephen A. Smith should have left a long time ago. Stephen A. Smith, in my personal opinion, should have been what Joe Rogan is right now. Stephen A. had the voice of the people for a very long time. And that time when ESPN suspended him and told him to take time off, in all honesty, he should have just been like, you know what? I'm out. I know that bread probably looked good, bro. It's understandable. You took multi-millions. But I know if you would have sat there and built your thing like Joe Rogan did, you would be the face of all podcasting right now. All the interviews with all the athletes we would have tuned into. And if you want to be honest, a lot of these sports athlete podcasts, they most likely would have been under your umbrella. You would have had the KD podcast, the Podcast P podcast, Knuckleheads, Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson's podcast. They probably would have all been under you because they would have respected you to usher in that regime of athletes doing those podcasts because you let them be honest and real. On top of that, you have the biggest genre of music on your side, which is hip hop. So you would have had all the hip hop stars on your side also coming to do your podcast. I'm talking Drink Champs, I guess without the alcohol, but at least they get to be real. Probably smoke a little cigar with you, whatever the case may be, even have a little drink with you there. In all honesty, kind of what Club Shay Shay's doing. I don't know if yours would have been as drama and messy, maybe, but still, you would have had a lot of the real people on there listening to you, respecting you, and having your back. And I have a feeling that eventually you probably would have got a bigger deal from whether it's Spotify or one of these other companies giving you hundreds of millions of dollars to do your thing because you would have been the voice of the people. But hey, man, I understand. It's a lot of bread when they throw it at your face like that. You're like, hey, man, I messed up. I'll apologize, and I'll just come back to and say what I got to say and essentially dance for them. So even moving on about the WNBA, I want y'all honest opinion. Do y'all think the WNBA is ready for this type of energy that the NBA gets, and other sports get, the NFL, stuff like that, NBL. Do you think the WNBA is ready for that type of action when it comes to being covered that much? All the false rumors that the media is going to spread about them, the relationships, everything being essentially heightened to a point where everything that they do is under a microscope. Are they ready for that? That's going to be a tough task. You have a relationship with somebody on the court and y'all get into it, they're going to be using that in the news. They're going to be talking about that. Well, they broke up 3 months ago, and that's why she elbowed her in the face. And that's going to be the front page or the main topic on First Take, all that type of stuff, and on everybody's podcast. Do y'all think the WNBA is ready for that type of energy? I'm interested. Some players are already getting annoyed because they've never been under this type of microscope before. Now, I think the cream's going to always rise to the top. But hey, It's a different beast when the lights are on you 24/7 now. It's a 24 news cycle. Every second of the day, they need something hot. And the media will make up some stuff just because they need something to run with. It's not even real. They don't care if they're throwing you under the bus. They don't care if you're throwing your family under the bus. They don't care about none of that. I don't know. So we'll see. We'll see. I'm interested to see. Yo, did y'all see the story of the man FaceTiming a judge while he was driving, but his license was suspended? You want to talk about an idiot. Now, look, I understand possibly not knowing that your license was suspended. I was driving with a suspended license one time, and I didn't know it was suspended. And when they pulled me over and they told me, I was afraid. It was like they're about to impound a car. They could possibly take me even to jail. And I was like, yo, I promise I didn't know. I don't know if the cops can see in the system when your license actually got suspended. But when I told him, I was like, hey, man, I promise I didn't know, man. Like, I swear I didn't know, whatever. The cop was like, yo, I believe you because it said that your license got suspended only a few days ago. And there's a possibility that you didn't know that. So I'll give you that. Why are you calling in the Zoom when you know the judge is going to be on the Zoom while you're driving? That's where the idioticness comes in. The stupidity. Wherever I'm at, I'm just going to pull over, stop the car, and jump on the Zoom right there with the judge, all right? I ain't going to drive. The judge's going to be like, what are you doing? Why are you driving, bro? Why are you driving during this session right now? Are you serious? Are you crazy? And he kept saying, like, I don't want to be late to my other appointment or whatever the case may be. You have now gotten yourself in even more trouble, dog. Yo, man, don't be this guy. Don't be this slow out there, all right? Now I saw this other story the other day. It's about this parent jumping on stage when their daughter was graduating, right? It says the father of Barabo High School, student in Wisconsin, storms the stage to stop a black school district superintendent from shaking his daughter's hand at her graduation ceremony. Literally went on there, crashed the graduation. Nah, forget all that. Bro, remember how I talked about earlier how I got the massage and I hated it and I wanted it to stop, but it wasn't about me. It's about my wife having a good time. That's what this is right here, bro. This wasn't about you, dog. No matter what you going through in your head, how you felt, your daughter clearly didn't have an issue shaking the superintendent's hand. This is her graduation, her high school graduation at that. One of the most stressful times in a teen's life is high school. And she got through it. And what did your goofy ass do? You made the moment about you. For what? You think your daughter gonna be cool after that? I'm not saying that she should hate you, but you know how teens are. She probably does hate you right now. You made her graduation, her effort, about you because of what? I think when I saw it was something like his daughter was getting bullied at school, and I guess the school might not have been doing enough in his mind to take care of the situation. But the superintendent, I mean, how do we even know that they even got to him? Possibility, yeah. But also a possibility it didn't. But still, going up there and pretty much moving him out the way and trying to scuffle with him at the graduation. What if he would have beat your ass? Shout out to the superintendent for keeping his cool and not beating the brakes off you. Because I'm sure in a normal setting, he would have put you in your back. If you want to be real, you owe him 5 minutes, no law around, just y'all two, take off the suit, throw the hands, you go back to your daughter with a busted lip, tell her that you're sorry, and you get her a nice graduation present. This past weekend, it was actually my wife's birthday. And so shout out, happy birthday to my lovely wife. Took her to Benihana. That's kind of like normally our birthday thing for her. And it was just us two that went, but we actually had a good table, like other people that sat at the table with us. A couple of lovely black women sat there. They were having a good time off work. They bought my wife a drink. And another person, another lady that was over there, her birthday was a few days beforehand, and she bought my wife another drink also and paid for some other stuff. And I was like, hey, I ain't gonna lie to you. I was like, whew, take a little bit off that bill for your boy. Benihana can get a little pricey, baby. Earlier that day, though, I took her to get couples massages. And usually when we go get a couples massage, normally for her, she doesn't really care if it's a man or woman that massages her. I normally want a woman to massage me. I just feel like they're a little bit more gentle to what I want when it comes to a massage. Because me personally, I don't be liking a super aggressive, like, be busting on my, like, elbow on my back and stuff like that. I'm not really a fan of all that stuff. So the place that we went to, we've been there before. And when we got there, they were like, hey, man, today all we got is men. So we're going to have to deal with it or just not get a massage. And it's my wife's birthday. It's not about me. So I was like, yo, you know what? I'm going to get the massage by the dude. And it is what it is. I got to just, take it. Hey, yo, pause. And when I first got in there, I had checked the box, like, step on my back. When I found out it was a dude, when he walked in, I was like, hey, brother, Yeah, all that back stuff, all that stepping on my back. Nah, not happening today, dog. You ain't gonna be stepping on my back as a grown ass man. I can't let that happen. So after I stated that, I proceeded to get the worst massage I've ever had in my life. When I told my boy I was getting massaged by a dude, he was like, "Oh man, it's gonna actually probably be the best massage you ever had." And I was like, "Really? Is it? Is it going to be that?" I don't believe you. So this type of massage was, I think, a mixture between deep tissue and Swedish massage. So normally when I get a Swedish massage, normally when a woman does it, she normally climbs on my back and she kind of rubs on my back and she uses her body a little bit to use herself to kind of like put pressure on my back and stuff like that, or put pressure on my legs. And I'm not going to lie to y'all, I forgot about that part. When this man climbed on my back and I felt his sack on me, I was like, hell nah. For the next 45 or so minutes, we legit tussled. Like we was fighting for the Intercontinental Championship belt. That whole massage, I was not comfortable. He was extra aggressive. I was like, bro, ease up on the tension. He didn't understand that. I'm over there. He over there. My wife looking over there like, what's happening? Is he making love to my husband? This man burped near my face. I clearly smelled that he had the meatball marinara sandwich from Subway. And he for sure threw onions on that thing. This man sneezed in his hand. Didn't step out to wash it off. Didn't even have the courtesy or audacity to wipe it off on his clothes or nothing like that. He sneezed on his hand and proceeded to massage my head and the back of my damn neck. Now I got sneeze residue juice on my body from another man. I don't even like when my wife sneezes near me. And I done tasted all her fluids. And here's the thing. I wanted to tell him to stop the whole time, but ego didn't let me. Also, his ego kicked in. Every time I was like, yo, bro, chill a little bit. You're doing too much. He did more. So yeah, man, probably worst experience from a massage standpoint that I've ever had in my life. I would never go back. If that person is there, I'd rather just reschedule. I spent $100 and something on that massage, and damn it, I was not feeling it. But here's my issue. His hands were so strong that even if I wanted to fight him, I don't know if I could have beat him. First things first, he clearly knows pressure points to make me weak, to put me down, to make me scream, whatever the case may be. And that's just him using the thumb and the index finger. So I was like, even if I wanted to fight this guy, I can't even risk it. This nigga done wrestled me down and tussled me. Then he beat my ass afterwards? Nah, man. Nah. At the end of the day, like I said, this shit wasn't about me. It was about my wife. She said she had an amazing massage by the person that gave her one, and that's all that mattered. I'll take my L like a champ, move the hell on, get up out of here, and I'll live to get a massage another day. So thank y'all for tuning in to another episode. I like doing these, man. Like I said, I don't know if it's a podcast yet, but it is. All right? So share it with your friends, man. Put it out there. Show the love. All right? It's a fun time. If you want to watch the video, subscribe to my YouTube, Keenan Baker on YouTube, or Keenan Baker Comedian. It should be one of those. If you just type my name in on YouTube, Keenan Baker, Keenan Baker, Baker. I'm going to pop up. I'm a stand-up comedian. You'll see my channel. Follow me. Watch the whole thing on there. Or if you just want the listening experience, you can listen to me on all podcasting platforms. All right? So thank you for tuning in to another episode of Hey, I'm Just a Fan. Peace.